I know, you're wondering, ladies and gentlemen, where have I been? Well, if you were following here on Sportswire Radio the past few weeks, you did know that, well, let's just say Father Time had passed for tooth number 15 here for yours truly. Well, we got that tooth implant, and, well, that's a story for who knows. Maybe we'll get into later on. But it is now time to return in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform where certainly all music and all wrestling matters here. And our guest is certainly debuting. And I can promise you, ladies and gentlemen, there would be no better person that I would want to make my return to Sportswire Radio with than this man, because this man has been well recommended. He's got a history that actually dates from my state to now his state, the Lone Star State. We'll talk about that. But we'll also talk about some familiar faces here on Sportswire Radio that, well, have been here and wrestled our guest. Yeah, I think JTA rings a bell. We'll talk about that. And what about Joey Knight Jr.? Yeah, we'll get into that. I could mention somebody who used to be a real raw energy, who's been certainly doing some training with our guest, but I'll leave that for a different time. But I'll most certainly talk about a guy that was unwanted and is now wanted. We'll get into that, and we'll talk about maybe some other things, some goals, and maybe let everyone here tonight know what is Allied Championship Wrestling. We'll get into that. We'll get into this man's journey, because it is a journey that is definitely for the big stage in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage. And I might even have something here for our guests. No, I don't think JTA is coming on here. No, I don't think Mickey Vargas is coming on here. No, I don't think Joey Knight Jr. is coming on here. But you never know. But I have something for our guests. Now, I'm going to try my best to give you an intro. Originally, I said I couldn't do anything, and I really shouldn't, because I've got basically like my left side of my mouth, and I'll say it because you're a wrestler. You'll probably say you're a wuss, but I did legitimately feel like I had a shotgun taken to my mouth. I kid you not. So I don't think I'm going to be in the ring anytime soon. The dentist wouldn't allow me. But I will certainly introduce our guest here. And ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor. And in the famous words of Def Leppard frontman Joe Elliott, let's get rocked, baby, because our chat wants me to finally speak. Our guest is like, I've been waiting to come on this platform for God knows when, probably like 2 hours. No, I'm only kidding. But it is now time to get this show off in style on Sportswire Radio, the #1 global radio station where all music and wrestling matters. So with that, wait for it. Further ado here on the Sports Report, the #1 global sports show. A man you've seen in multiple promotions, most notably Allied Championship Wrestling. His name is simply put the reigning, defending ACW undisputed champion, the Big The champ is here, my friend. How are we doing?
I'm doing amazing. I'm honored to be here. I appreciate it.
You know what? That really, for those, I actually felt like I was on the training wheels, and I almost forgot the original opening notes to the intro. And I can tell you, I think Vargas is here. I see him. Usually, I could do this for 7 or 8 minutes, but I don't have it in me in my voice. This was the best I could. Originally, I was going to do, well, hello. The big horses were live to Sportswire Radio. And Champ, it's great to meet you. But I'm like, I can't do it. I can't disappoint the people. There's always somebody here. Your peers are here. And I got to at least try. So it wasn't my best. But the next time you come back on here, I'm sure in a few weeks, we'll be back to normal. And I'll give you the long screaming intro. And we'll do the best we can. But it is an absolute honor to have you on here, my friend. I got a lot to talk about here in a little bit of time, and my voice, we'll see how it holds up. But for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you, the Big Horse and Allied Championship Wrestling, have certainly helped build, talk to me about what it means to be the reigning, defending ACW Undisputed Champion.
It's a good feeling. It honestly really is. To have competitors stepping up like Mickey Vargas, Joey Knight, and many others, Mr. X, and to put them down and put them in their place where they belong, it's a good feeling.
A lot of names there, a lot of names I know, and I'm certainly going to talk about a lot, but a lot of pressure, especially with a company like this, an upstart company, a lot of different people coming in here, a lot of buzz on social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube out there. I'll put some links up here in a few minutes, but certainly a lot of pressure with an upstart company to be the guy at the top because so many people want to come in here and knock you off the block.
100%. Everyone wants a shot at the champ. And it's understandable, especially with being a new company. And we have everybody who joined the company with us wants a shot, but they're not there yet, and they're getting there, which we're very proud of them. And then we have a lot of people wanting to come in and just take the reins.
Sure. What's that like being a part of a new company here in Allied Championship Wrestling? You and I were talking a little bit off the air, and you've been doing this for a little bit of time. Obviously, there are some here in the chat that have been doing it longer than others, but to be a part of a new company, what's that like for you?
Honestly, it's good. They were around before. They weren't as big back then. They disbanded for a little while, and then I got with Kingpin and I got with MJ Dub, and we restarted again, and we made it for everybody. Wrestling's our motto. Our website is Wrestling is for Everybody, and it's a good thing to be able to start our own thing and try to tell a story, which is what we try to do. So,
you know, I'm glad that you had said that because you know, I have had a motto, which some people I think obviously have opinions. Others are behind me, and I think most people are, which is all wrestling matters. And I truly believe that wrestling should be for everybody out there. I truly believe that wrestling is the one thing that can bring people together of all backgrounds, all walks of life, all ethnicities, all whatever and where you come from, you know, especially in this world. You know, there's so much that goes on out there, so much that wrestling can be that escape. And if you are here on Instagram, do me a favor, go hit the follow button for Allied Championship Wrestling. And forgive me because my voice does feel like champ. I'm a little off still because as I stated in my intro, I had almost what felt like a shotgun go off in my mouth after I had my tooth taken out and then a new tooth screwed in. So it's probably going to be like this for another couple of days. But definitely, please support Allied Championship Wrestling. And we'll be talking a lot more about that and some other things. So Allied Championship Wrestling, you've been here for a little while, the Big Horse. And I guess since I'm hearing about you the first time, we'll put up a couple of matches. I see some people here. We'll get to everybody here in the chat. But how long you been in wrestling, and what got you into it?
I've watched it my whole life. I've always loved it. And what got me into it, I was 400 pounds. And my friend, Kingpin, brought me into it. He needed help with a show called WrestleFest. They have a show down here, and they needed some bodies. And I was like, well, you only live once. And I did the show, and nobody knew who I was at the time. It was my first match, and everyone just started screaming my name, and I was addicted. I was like, okay, this is it. I need to put the work in and get to work.
Wow. Yeah, it's quite a feeling. It's quite an adrenaline rush, right? You go out there, you know, I interview a lot of these bands, and I've had on, you know, LA Guns and Grand Funk Railroad, and King's X and Great White, all these guys, and they play in front of 50, 60, 70,000 or 100,000 fans in the case of Mark Farner. And there's that rush. I don't care if it's in front of one person or 100,000 fans, and you get that, and that has drawn you in. And you're 400 pounds, and you don't look 400 pounds. I said to you when I saw you in one place, which I'm going to talk about here in a few minutes, you look great. You've obviously been inspired by that. So you've been wrestling here for a little bit. I have some stuff I'm going to get to. I always ask this question to people that are here for the first time. And what are your goals for what's left of the rest of the year? You have a lot of time left. You've been wrestling recently. And what's your goals here coming up for the rest of the year?
My personal goals is to get booked for other companies to try to help ACW get their name out there more. I feel like we've gotten out there a lot so far, especially in this past couple of months, especially with the help of Mickey Vargas, CJ Renegade, D'Angelo Flame. A lot of people are putting their faith in ACW.
You mention him on here because there was a guy I noticed that shared me something about that. You can mention D'Angelo Flame. We can mention him.
I hope so. If not, then I messed up.
Oh, no, you definitely can. I just didn't know that he was making that public, but he's been a big staple on my platform. I mean, D'Angelo the Flame was, probably one of the biggest names I've ever had in underground wrestling on my platform. He's a big deal, D'Angelo Flame. He's in your company, so I would see some people in my chat that would know him or lived with him, as a matter of fact. Mickey Vargas wrestled him famously last year, and Justin Parsley lived with him last year. Yeah, they did live with him with Summer Bash. So yeah, there's some people here that know D'Angelo LaFlame very well. So I have to ask you, what's that like being with the Real Raw Energy and being around him in ACW?
Well, I've only been around him once, unfortunately. We haven't been able to meet up yet. I got to see him the day of the show, and honestly, he did great. And he's a nice guy. Honestly,
he is very nice guy. Very nice guy.
He's a great wrestler. He's very patient. We had a lot of green people that were debuted in that match, and we had the pros like him watch over them, and he did great. 100%.
Yeah, he's really one of those guys that, we talk about All Wrestling Matters here on Sportswire, and he was one of those guys that, to me, took that bull by the horn. He went out and wrestled in a lot of different states, Alabama, certainly New York, Massachusetts, Ohio with Summer Bash, Connecticut. I mean, a lot of great places that he went out there and wrestled, and he brought a lot of people together, like Mickey Vargas, who I'm going to get to. I'm going to save Mickey Vargas for a bit, but I want to talk to you. I'm going to come back to ACW. I definitely want to spend time with my friend Joey Knight Jr., who I have a couple of Joey Knight Jr. stories on here, but I have a match of yours I want to put up because I got a chance to watch it, and I got a chance to really dive further into it, and it kind of ties into maybe Mickey Vargas, because I see one of the guys here in our chat who was on here last Tuesday is really one of those guys that I really think is going to be the next wave of the Mickey Vargases, the next wave of the D'Angelo the Flames. And you remember this guy? His name is JTA. You wrestled him when you traveled, and you remember this match, and what are your memories of it? Because I want to talk about it.
I do remember that match very, very much. It's very few and far between that I get in the ring with somebody that is as strong as I am. I'm not used to getting pushed around as much. So, I used to do the push.
He's the man of the house that you ran into. He is the man of the house. That is JTA, and he's won the most matches of anybody in the history of home. He's wrestled in the most matches, and then there's the guy I'll get to next, and yeah, you went in the ring with JTA, and obviously we see it all went down, and you guys went into, well, the Empire State. And spoiler alert, I live in the Empire State, although I'm downstate. They're up in the state, and there you are. There you are. And this is kind of the seed that was planted. What are your memories of being up there at home? What was that experience like for all of you guys? I take it probably the first time you've been up there, and you come in here to an environment like this. What was that like?
Well, I've never been to New York a day in my life, so I'm definitely from the South, and it was definitely freaking cold. So
yeah, I don't like the cold much either, and I'm from New York, and I'm from New York City, so I feel your pain literally.
But being up there and wrestling for home, I think they were surprised that we actually came up, and we're like, yeah, we're coming. We drove
Oh, wow.
2 days there, Yeah, and
Wow.
drove 2 days to get there. We made a trip out of it. We're like, yeah, we're gonna go up there, and it was a lot of fun. That was honestly, they're a good company. I don't know if they get a lot of credit, but they are a great company.
I'm glad you said that because I have tried my best. I've had a lot of the guys on from home. Obviously, JTA came on here. Luke Draven was here months ago. Vargas has been here several times. Shocky Boy has been here. Shock. Torrance Banks has been here several times. And the man that's the play-by-play man for home, even Pootie's been here. So when he's not on Twitch, he was here on Sportswire once. We've had a lot of the guys on here. But yeah, I really think that Home is one of those companies that, kind of went under the radar in some ways. But I do think they've gotten their due here a bit on Sportswire. I want to say that I think the guys know that I've done my best to bring them on here. But I also want to say it here. Since you're wrestling, I'm going to watch the match with you here for a few minutes. I think, now this might be maybe I don't know, an unlikely opinion that somebody have heard from me, but I think if you look at their ring and you look at the setup that Home has, I think it might be the very best in the entire underground circuit that I've seen. I mean, I've had a lot of companies come on, but I think they may have the best setup.
Yeah, honestly, one of the best because I've wrestled places where at least it's cold up there. It's not blazing hot. I've wrestled at places where it's just you can't think straight. It's so hot. So I will give it that. And honestly, for what they did and how they made it, it's great. And that
Yeah,
ring,
their ring is I think the ring is, it's one of the very best. It's, certainly, I mean, IMF's a different ball game because they're, selling tickets. But I look at the pure underground companies for a YouTube product. And I think that the ring that we see right now that our friends at Home have is definitely one of the very best. Maybe right up there with the DBW or VTW. And, you're here in it. And so talk to me about wrestling JTA. Talk to me about what he does in the ring that maybe you had to try to adjust with.
well, again, like I'm not used to someone like me. Like I'm a big guy, and so is he. And he doesn't move like a big guy. And
No.
I try to move like a big guy. We try to be different from the crowd. We wrestle big man style, but we throw a little bit of quick moves in there and flips and stuff. And again, I'm not used to fighting someone that's exactly like I am.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. We were talking about this last week on the show. He's almost like a Keith Lee. I see a little bit of, we talked about Mark Henry. We talked about, a number of different guys that he brings something to the table with. He's very versatile for his size. He's got agility, and he's a great talent. He's a great talent. He's a great talker, and he's one of these guys in the ring that backs it up. But you certainly are backing him up right now, and you're showing people why you're the big horse.
100%. And like I said, he is strong. He, especially for his size, and Mark Henry, I can compare that to. But then you have people like Big Show and Brock Lesnar, who there's always somebody bigger than you.
Absolutely. Yeah, listen, that's a point well taken. But he definitely moves quick on his feet. And, you said you took 2 days to get up here. And, I mean, what's that like in between? For 2 days to come up here? I mean, that's definitely... I give you a lot of credit. A lot of people would have turned back after 2 hours. Yet you drove 2 hours with the guys in ACW. And what was that experience like? And anything memorable that stood out?
Oh, 100%. This was not only about going up there and making like life experiences, having fun, doing new things. I've never been to Nashville before. Nashville was awesome.
Oh, wow, okay.
We went through Texarkana, and there's this barbecue place called Naaman's, one of the best ever. We stopped on the way up there and stopped on the way back.
Wow.
So, oh yeah, we went through Columbus, Ohio. That was beautiful up there. Just seeing all these different states and seeing what's there, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a good point you made because you think about we have so much that we don't even maybe really appreciate as much, and that's a good point. In Nashville, I get a lot of musicians on, as I said, and every musician you get, they all love Nashville, and a lot of them have moved. I had Kicks guitarist Brian Forsythe, and he moved actually to Nashville, and a lot of musicians have moved up there, so could see that as a hotbed. But right now, you've got a hotbed of people watching you, and JTA is definitely showing why he's the man of the house. But the spoiler alert, this match happened a while ago, and the outcome is going to probably be not what JTA would like. But when you go out there and wrestle somebody though that you don't know, do you just go out there and wrestle? Because I get a lot of people on, and I'm always curious because you don't really have any history with these guys. So do you watch JTA's tape? I asked JTA a question about studying and things like that, and he is a big studier of his opponents, and I have a feeling he could studied whatever he could on you. It wasn't much, but with a guy like this, you're driving 2 days to go to him. Did you watch any of his tape prior? Did you study maybe his moveset to get ready for this?
No, unfortunately, I did not. But I did do a lot of talking with Mickey Vargas about it because he's wrestling.
Close enough. Yeah, close enough. Well, that makes
Mickey Vargas definitely told me a lot that I needed to know.
Okay, good enough. And you did some, it was a nice little, was it a Boston Crab there? It was a really nice move you did there. That was some good submission work here that we're watching. And we're here with the Big Hoss. He is the ACW undisputed champion. And we are here talking a number of different things here for a little while. If you'd like to follow ACW, they're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, they're also on YouTube. Please go out there and support ACW. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, with all music and wrestling matters. And if you're here on Sportswire Radio, please like, share, and subscribe to us. And the Big Hoss, you're my first guest back since, well, Sunday, and I got a tooth implant yesterday. So we'll see how my mouth holds up. So far, so good. But obviously, JTA there, and boy, that was definitely below the belt. That was definitely a big move there you just did, literally.
I don't know what you're talking about. The ref didn't see anything.
Well, obviously, that's the way it goes, and I talk about this all the time in wrestling. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and by any means necessary, but JTA is not going to go down that easily, as you stated. He's a big guy, and that big guy is definitely going to, I'm sure, fight back here a little bit more. But, when you're in an environment like this, a completely different environment, and then, by the way, he does some great moves, but do you have to adjust knowing that you're in front of all these people you haven't seen before? Does that get into your head mentally? Is that something that you prepare for or pay attention to?
Honestly, it was exciting to be able to go perform in front of a new crowd in a new state. Maybe a little bit nervous, but more exciting than anything.
Yeah, I would think that you'd be excited. I would think, everyone's nervous. I mean, literally, my nerves were just taken out of me. But I would imagine. Yeah, I try to make jokes, but I'm a bad stand-up comedian, almost as bad as I'm a host. But obviously, I would think that is exciting, and that also motivates you. That drives you to want to go out there because so many people are watching a different environment, and now, well, you've gotten back up. You've gotten back up on your feet. You've finally got JTA down a little bit, and you're definitely going to be dealing with this. And he does get one last gasp out of here, and he's not able to roll you back over, which kind of buys you some time here in this, and that's kind of where maybe you get a little bit of a second win. No?
Yeah, for sure.
I
had to play it smart.
That's a veteran move for a guy like yourself. Undoubtedly, JTA is the one in this case that's more experienced than you at this particular moment, but yet you had the veteran instinct to roll out of the near the end of the ring, and you come back out and you get him down, and you're able to block his offense, and that clothesline was definitely as stiff as a $2 steak from Texas. Let me tell you something. That was definitely, and I can't eat one of those for days. So I'm not going to be trying that at home, to quote our friends at home. And that punch to the head was almost like the oral surgeon giving me that shotgun to my left side of my mouth. And yeah, you and Dr. Left could certainly be eye for an eye. But big win. Congratulations. And had to have felt good to go all the way to the Empire State and drive 2 days and get a victory against the man that is the man of the house, that has won the most matches and wrestled the most matches of anybody in home.
Definitely a good feeling. It was, and I appreciate it too. So, great guy. I'm honestly looking forward to wrestling him again.
But by the way, what happened here though? Why did you do what you were about to see? What was that for? Now the match is over. What was your rationale toward that? I'd be curious.
Well, again, if they're gonna talk mess about Texas, I gotta support the Lone Star.
Mm. Okay, well, obviously, that's one thing. I'm going to take this off the screen because I want to plug JTA's YouTube page. So I want to give everybody that opportunity in a second. And I'm sure JTA is in the chat. We'll get to everybody here in the chat before I talk to everyone else that's out there. So please go out there and also support ACW, and I'll get to JTA. There we go. Now that's the big screen. It's been a minute since I've done this, but yeah, that's one thing. But obviously, I hope to see a rematch with you and JTA. Certainly, who knows? But I do want to plug JTA's YouTube page. There we go. Now I have it. Boy, technology is a funny thing, especially within YouTube. But here we go. That's JTA's YouTube link. Give him a sub. Let's get some more subs here in the chat, and you can maybe watch more of what's out there, especially Yardcade 3, because Yardcade 3 will be this weekend, finally be released, and some other Sportswire Radio favorites will be on it. But if you want to watch some more matches from JTA, check out his YouTube page, and he'll be back on Sportswire Radio later in the month, and we'll talk about all that. All right, so you know what? I don't know why Justin Parsley's comments aren't. I'm not mad at all. I don't know. What's your last comment? I see the one here at 9:49 p.m. and I see the one at 9:53 p.m. Any other comment? Just bring it back up. But yeah, I'm definitely not mad. I just don't see the comment. But let's get to the chat because I know you're a busy man. I got to talk about some other people. So let's take this off the screen and I'll try to figure out why I can't see Justin Parsley's comments. But maybe he'll give me a new comment and I can maybe read it up. I don't know. Maybe it's the Tooth Fairy. I don't know. Zilla is here. Zilla is my first person here in the chat. Zilla is always our favorite here on Sportswire Radio. And thank you, Zilla, for being here. The one and only Ox McCoy, who messaged me before I was going on the air, was asking how was it. I told him, well, I had this thing done, but I can't compare it to him because guys like you and Ox go out there and put your bodies through so much, and even, a shotgun to my mouth does not pale into comparison to the tables, the barbed wire, the chairs, all the stuff you guys put your body up through, and we thank you all for that. And I put a comment up there. What's up, family? And okay, and there is JTA, and he's here. And hello to everybody. Thank you very much. Speaking of people, I think this guy's name is Onyx. Ring a bell? Remember the name Onyx?
Not really.
Yeah, no, from home. Don't try this at home. Yeah. Well,
okay.
Yeah. Maybe you had to get a memory refresh. I trust me. I know the pain. I'm still trying to refresh my memory from before that. Speaking of underground stalwarts, we have on. I think he still is a champion. He is Jason Storm. He's the puppet master, and he wants to say something huge is happening tonight in caps locks, and it's not quite me talking about a shotgun going in my mouth at the dentist. It's something that I'm sure he'll talk about on his TikTok, and he's doing really well on TikTok, by the way. So please support Jason Storm and check out his stuff on TikTok. I want to say hello to the All Wrestling Matters archives. They just hit 100+ subscribers on YouTube. Every single subscriber adds up, and please support that. I have the YouTube link up for it while I'm typing because I want to get to all that, and I see some of my content on there, so that means, champ, have to support myself because that means somebody's actually watching me. And though I know nobody really wants to watch, I'm only a kid. It's a joke. I'm kidding. But there is the All Wrestling Matters archives page. Actually, I think there's some Mickey Vargas content and D'Angelo the Flame content on here. Plenty of that. So if you can, hit the sub button for All Wrestling Matters archives. And the man that runs that page is actually the first backyard wrestler I've had on the platform. I can say it. Yeah, I just did. That's Sean Jovi. So hit the sub button there. And I'm going to come back to Mickey Vargas in a minute because I want to get to a couple other people in the chat. Thank you, Zilla. Thank you very much. Allied Championship Wrestling. And now I think it's time where I can bring him up. This guy, Joey Knight Jr., he is the HCW Hardcore Champion. He comes also from the state of Texas. What a small world. And he was talking about Allied Championship Wrestling. He was talking about this company. And I go, oh, I've been hearing a little bit about this company. Obviously, I want to get to Mickey next. And he was saying he was going to be going somewhere. And then I have the Instagram footage of it. And what a small world, and what timing I have here. The timing of having you here on Champ is that next thing I know, I see, Joey Knight Jr. and the Big Hoss in a ring this past weekend. And you want to talk about this guy?
Yeah, look, when it comes down to it, he is a great guy. But he cost me the opportunity at the Global Wrestling Championship. That's a belt that we came up with. It has to be defended by different brands. And I was the person they chose to defend ACW. And if he hadn't gotten my way, I would have won. He kept getting in my way.
So this guy who's known on this platform for starting out as a promo wrestler, and now he's a part of an establishment, and now he wants to emerge in ACW, you might want to say, and he wants to take something that's rightfully yours, and, he cost you.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have a run back for that one, and I'm looking forward to it.
Now, I would like to let you know that Mr. Knight, he's coming on Sportswire a couple of times, so if you want to let him know how you feel about him, please do so now. I'm going to have him back on, in fact, 2 weeks from tomorrow, and then 2 days after that on Sunday the 14th, because his group in HCW, Haybarn Championship Wrestling, they're this little group called The Establishment, and, they've got a lot of issues that they're going to try to rectify and talk about here on Sportswire Radio, but please, by all means, tell Joey Knight Jr. why he's out of his league, and maybe he should emerge to stay somewhere else.
Well, not to be frank, but at the end of the day, he's a tag team champion. That's great, but I am the undisputed champion.
Ooh, yeah, you know what? And just like you, he's relatively new and experienced, and he's just learning now to win matches, and obviously that luck may or may not help him in other places, or we'll have to stay tuned, I suppose. So you think that maybe you'll run into this guy, Joey Knight Jr. again?
Oh, for sure. I'm having an event in October, my own event, in October, and then we have November. So either one, if he wants to come down, the challenge is there.
Well, you know what? Like I said, he's here in 2 weeks, and I'll remind him about what you said, and I'll even go further, and I'll make sure on Instagram and Facebook, other people hear this, maybe even TikTok, because you said you watched me on TikTok, and I forgot I got to go post on TikTok later, and I'll make sure that Joey Knight Jr. definitely knows about this, so I can ask him and remind Joey Knight Jr. that other than HCW, that maybe he should have some plans, especially in that month of October, like you just said.
100%.
I will definitely do that. And yes, please support Allied Championship Wrestling. I will also put up the Allied Championship Wrestling YouTube page up here shortly. So there we go. Wow, I didn't know I'd have so many fans here to talk to me during the Big Hoss stream. That is Justin Parsley. He's, speaking of tag team champions, he is one half of the IMF tag team champions. He is also the King of Palo winner, and he said Jay, Jason, and both Davids. Yeah, I didn't realize there was so many names similar. And hello. Please follow Allied Championship Wrestling on Instagram, and we would certainly appreciate that. Great to see everybody here, but there will be a time and place. He is also my hall monitor of Sportswire Radio, who is on his way to making a return to Sportswire Radio. This is your night. So, he's traveled too. Iowa, Ohio, Indiana, Michigan. So maybe you'll meet him one day. But Joey does want to say that he had a great time at ACW last weekend. Hope to be out there soon again. So I would love to see maybe more ACW stars here on Sportswire and elsewhere. So maybe that would be a possibility, I would hope.
Oh, definitely.
D'Angelo Flame is definitely a great guy. One of my all-time favorite people I've ever got a chance to speak with. And Zilla would like to give you some kind words. Big Hoss is awesome, amazing, cool, and a talented wrestler. She said that. And I'm a big fan of Big Hoss no matter what. That's great. And that's a great question, because Justin Parsley at Ring of Champions will be defending his tag team championships against the Switchblades and the Rock Stars of the Galaxy, Sean Jovi and Mephisto, who on Sportswire Radio, Sean Jovi on Christmas, talked about wanting to win tag team championships. And there is JTA. So he puts you on the spot, which is going to leave me next to Mickey Vargas. He wants that rematch from you. He's obviously upset about what happened still. I don't blame him. And what's your opinion on that?
Oh, 100%. I said earlier when we were talking, our WrestleMania is going to be Birthday Bash #3, and that's where we revamped ACW. Started again. It'll be February, probably towards the end. And if Home's coming, you're on my list, Jay. You are #1 on my list.
Well, you said Home is coming. Now you do know that Home guys like to travel to other people's homes. We know Mickey Vargas. I'm going to get certainly made it now known that he's in your state now. That's his home. After what he said on Sportzwire a month ago, I want to remind you about that. When I asked him about Texas, the Lone Star, I was about the food, the barbecue, the weather. He said, no. I'm here for business. We know he's proud. There's Stocky Boy now. He's part of X-Brand Wrestling. We know other guys have traveled like Onyx. We know guys have traveled like Hunt. We know guys that have traveled like Luke Raven. There's a lot of guys. Torrance Banks. You can never forget about Torrance Banks. So maybe those guys, but especially JTA, because JTA said on Sportswire Radio, now that he's graduated college, that he can do more and explore in his wrestling career other places.
I don't want to ruin who's going to be coming down.
Yeah,
I don't want to ruin the show.
Yeah, don't.
It's going to be a big surprise, but Jay needs to be, no matter what, needs to be one of the ones to come down. I don't care about anybody else but him.
I want to see him. He's one of those guys I want to see wrestle in more places. And yeah, don't do anything about spoiling anything, because then I'll get the shotgun to the right side of my mouth. If that's to the left side, now it'll go to the right side. So yeah, don't do that. And I'm sure JTA will respond in kindly. Give a sub to JTA's YouTube page. We'd appreciate that. I don't know. Yeah, I think we answered that already. And we'll see about that. What's your 8-ball made out of? Crystal, your answer was they got towards Zilla, because I don't even know. Hit the sub there. Okay, I want to give you something before I get to Mickey Vargas. I got something for you. No, I don't have a guest to chat with you and say a few words. Maybe that'll come at a different time. But because it is August 28th, 2025, it is Big Horse Day on all Sportswire radio platforms. So I know it's not quite that global championship that you desired and Joey Knight Jr. got in the way of, but on all Sportswire radio platforms, you now have your own day, and you're the first person to get a day after me getting a new tooth. So congratulations on that. And we'll definitely remember this. I'll remember this day, certainly quite a day. In fact, I'm going to say it. I was speaking with Justin Parsley off the air, and he said I was lucky to be alive after having a shotgun put to my mouth. And I said, yeah, I felt that way the entire way to that dentist. I traveled 2.5 hours to this dentist. I have no idea why. I paid $4,000 up front. Don't feel bad for me. It's only like peanuts for me. And I was like, what am I doing? My mother was telling me, why am I going to this dentist? I shouldn't go. But I'm like, no, I got to do it. And then that's what I felt. He said, you were lucky to be alive. But I'm lucky to be with you, sir. And I'm lucky that on this day, I can present this to you. And I will give you the physical copy when we are off the air. But now I want to talk to you about the man that really is the reason why you're on this platform tonight. The man that 5+ months ago came on here and talked about all these different things. And he talked about the state of Texas, and you went here to my state, the Empire State. And I want to talk about it right now. And I want to talk about the man that was once unwanted, but now is one of the most wanted wrestlers, period. And a man that you've got a lot of history with. You've wrestled, and I am talking about none other than the one and only Mickey Vargas, Mr. 716 himself. He
is a great guy, but he is a tough son of a bitch.
I know, yeah. I've seen it. I saw him with Masada the other day.
And honestly, I'm lucky because I haven't been in a death match with him. So, but pound for pound, punch for punch, he's definitely the one to go with. And he honestly is one of my favorites to wrestle so far. I've wrestled quite a bit of people, but he's like 1 or 2 on my list right now, favorite people to wrestle. And I enjoy wrestling with him, training with him. is definitely a lot of fun. And to be honestly to premiere for Lano Promotions
Yes.
and to be him was a big honor.
What's that experience like, especially with Lanos Wrestling? I saw a lot of this on Facebook, and what was that opportunity like?
Honestly, it was a kind of it was big because it's like, oh, you kind of now made it. You're out there on the indies, not just going up for ACW, and also it's Lucha, so that was definitely
Yep.
him training Lucha, me training Lucha, them seeing surprised that we can do what we do for big guys was a big thing.
Yeah, especially Mickey also, because you mentioned the deathmatch stuff, and Mickey's certainly become an expert at that over the past year plus. But you talked about the lucha style, and it's really something I haven't got a chance to ask anybody because I just saw you in a match with JTA. But what's that experience like training for a lucha style match, and what's that versus a regular match?
That is honestly a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Definitely a lot harder, and I give it so much prop. I thought there was a lot of cardio in American. There's a lot more in Lucha. There's a lot more going on. There's a lot more movement, moving pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fun, and I enjoy it, and I'm grateful for it because it gives you more opportunities to work with other promotions, other people you normally wouldn't work.
Absolutely. The guy that's come on here many times, who's been on the PWI 500 2 years in a row, Vito Fratelli, has done a lot of stuff in Mexico and some of those other circuits around there, wrestling guys like Alexander Hammerstone and TJ Perkins and all those different guys that style. But when you have an opportunity to wrestle Vargas, right, and you've got history with him, but then do it in a setup like this, so what do you take away from this to help your own wrestling career?
Well, the fact that they have faith in us to be able to do it, they have all this other talent, and they grabbed us, which was awesome. So they believe in us, and then again, too, just it opens opportunities for both of us. We have opportunity to go to Mexico now and wrestle over there. We've had a couple offers, and being booked more, both of us. It definitely helps being able to travel. It's helping out a lot.
So I would guess then we're going to be brushing up on Spanish.
Más y menos.
I don't know much about it. I will tell you that I took Spanish all through junior high and high school growing up in Brooklyn, and I went to McKinley Junior High and Fort Hamilton High School, and I was lucky just to pass Spanish. So I'm going to not know much about that. So if you're looking for bilingual coverage on Sportswire, you're out of luck. But, Mickey, you and him, this rivalry goes back now a while because, as I stated, Mickey talked so much about your state. And he talked about it in a way that was rather demeaning. And now he's come in here to your state. He lives in your state. He's almost infringing upon your footprint, the Big Horse. You're the man. And Mickey Vargas, who was literally the man here of home, he's the only two-time head of the household, decides that he took his ball and went to your state after everything he said. And that must, I'm sure, bother you. And that must certainly resonate with why you want to show Mickey Vargas time and time again who really is the head of the Lone Star State.
100%. But, he talked all this mess, and he's allowed to. It's fine. But then at the end of the day, where did he come? The Lone Star State. Where's the best wrestling? Texas, 100%. Where are the best wrestlers from? Texas. And you know what got him hooked?
What?
Buc-ee's.
Oh, I can't believe you just said that because you're going to laugh. I got to break the fourth wall for a second. And I really shouldn't be talking with the way my left side feels right now in my mouth. But my buddy, Joe Roses, you want to laugh? He drove all the way in Brooklyn. He drove from Brooklyn all the way to Virginia to go to Buc-ee's and said it was the greatest thing he ever. I know you were going to say he's nuts, but maybe not. But he drove. My buddy Joe Roses drove all the way from Brooklyn, Bay Ridge, Brooklyn to Virginia just to go to Buc-ee's. I'm going to make sure he hears this clip on Instagram, and I'm going to tag him in it because what's with Buc-ee's? I don't understand it. I just saw Wawa for the first time on my way to my tooth surgery yesterday, and Buc-ee's. All my buddy Joe Roses said, so what's Buc-ee's and why is it so great?
Buc-ee's is like a gas station heaven. And you talk about, I said that's what got him hooked. But
Yeah.
even Vargas won't admit this, but he said Southern hospitality, that's a thing. It is a thing, and that's where Bucky started it, and that's why it's a thing. They know how to treat you. They treat you right.
So, but he didn't say that here on Sportswire. I was asking about that months ago. You probably heard about it. I was talking about the food and the weather, and he was like, "Nah, I don't care about that. I don't want anything to do with that. I'm just here to win championships. I'm just here to take care of business." And yet, here you are, and Vargas, all these months later, has done a complete 180 and talked about Southern hospitality. He's treated so great, and boy, what a change of scenery more or less does to you.
100%. Hell, went up there, tried some wings, and no offense to New York, but the wings in Texas are also a lot better.
No, listen, trust me, the wings. You want to laugh? I get 7-Eleven wings most of the time. Wings are that great unless you go to a bar, but that's a different ball game. And I don't think I'm having bar wings anytime soon. I can barely talk at the moment, but obviously, I'm getting through it. But listen, if you're here right now, first of all, please sub to ACW, and obviously, there's a lot of content here relating in BCW. And I want to ask you before I come back to Mickey Vargas, what happened here? You got attacked. I was watching this earlier, and what happened here for our audience?
I just won the Fatal 4-Way for the #1 contender anytime, anywhere. That's actually how I won the Undisputed Championship. And out of nowhere, Dr. Death comes in and just kicks the shit out of my face. I haven't been able to get a get back yet, but eventually it's going to happen. He ain't going to see it coming. Like he got me, I want to get him back too.
So, Dr. Death is somebody you have on your mind here coming up.
Oh, 100%. He was supposed to be at this last show. Unforeseen things happen, but I don't forget. 100%, like Jay, him, I don't forget. There's going to be payback coming eventually. I'm going to make my way towards San Antonio.
Obviously, that's a lot there, and you've got a lot of people targeting you. And I also noticed Mr. X now is a part of ACW, and
Yes, sir.
You want to talk about what we can expect from him coming up?
You know, I'm giving somebody credit. I know it's weird, but he is one I would keep your eye on. 100%,
Yeah.
Mr. X. He is going to be, I think, honestly, one of the biggest stars to come. He is a great wrestler, but he's not there yet. He'll get there, but he's not. He hasn't gone through me yet. We just had a match. Just had a match on Sunday, and I'm a little bit more veteran than him, and I won because of it. He made a little mistake, and I used that to capitalize, and I won. So he's going to get there, but not yet.
Almost like Mickey Vargas. Mickey Vargas obviously is a guy that he said all these different things about you, and now he's here in your state, and you must want to prove a point to him that you're the man right now. You're the guy, and that this isn't Buffalo. This isn't Ransomville. This isn't home, and that you're the guy that's wanted to be on top. I mean, I'm sure that's something you'd like to send a message to Mickey Vargas on.
100%. Anytime, anywhere he wants to come at me, he's great. He's a king, I think, of death matches. If we win at a death match, I'll give it to him. He's gonna whoop my ass. Now in a regular match, it's me, because pound for pound, strength wise, this isn't Buffalo strength. This is pure super redneck strength. I will beat anybody out there. There's no protein shakes. There's no nothing. This is pure strength.
You know what? And I tell you what, and that listen, they always say don't mess with Texas. I mean, wasn't there this guy, Stone Cold Steve Austin, that was from Texas? Yeah, I mean, James Taylor was from Texas, but even James Taylor would say that there's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh, hell yeah. How about The Undertaker? He come, and listen, you've got that big strength. You've got that redneck strength. You've got that strength that we don't have here in the Empire State. We don't have in the
Mark
76.
Henry.
Yeah, Mark Henry. I mean, there's a long list of names. I mean, Texas,
You
said, Texas is like, listen, what New York might be for basketball. Texas is that for wrestling. We think about the Von Erichs. We can go up and down the list of greats that are from Texas. But you are the man here, and that's why Mr. Vargas, he might want to evaluate some things that he should be doing and maybe stick to the deathmatch world.
I agree. He actually has a chance over there. He's not going to have a chance in my world.
Yeah, you know what? And you went. Listen, we showed you. You went to. And by the way, to remind him and others, you went to his world and you beat J to the A, who was the man in the house. You went out there and beat him. So it's almost
Again,
he's now in your environment. There's just no way Vargas can beat you. If you went into his place and won, how is he going to stay here and live in your state and be able to hang with the redneck strength? I don't know how it's going to be feasible.
maybe that's why I moved down here. Try to get
Ah,
some of that redneck strength.
well, you know what? We'll have to find out. And yeah, this was the last poster to Allied Championship Wrestling, and you can please go out there and support them. And yeah, you'll see some of our favorites on here. You see the one and only Joey Knight Jr. is on that poster, and you've got a lot of names. And the Big Hoss himself is most importantly a part of that. And CJ Renegade is a part of the company. We talked about Mr. X, and there's a lot of others that you need to please go out there and support. They have a YouTube channel. They have an Instagram page. Please support them, and we'll have plenty of coverage here. I have no doubt, because Joey Knight Jr. is coming here in 2 weeks, and I'm going to talk to him about some of the things you said and why Joey Knight Jr. maybe he should have stayed where he's more established, and that would be in Haybarn Championship. Or maybe you should pay a visit to his company in Arkansas. You know, he keeps coming to Texas. Maybe you should go travel to Arkansas one day, to Prescott, Arkansas. That's where he's going to be. Just to let you know, he's going to be in Prescott, Arkansas, September 13th. Maybe he should invite you.
You never know. You could always have it.
Duly noted. Let me get to Ox McCoy here before I come back to Vargas. I wish Come and Go was better at what they do. They thrive on the name and logo for merch as a comparison to Buc-ee's. Yeah, I'm almost now like this whole thing, and you talk about Buc-ee's and then my buddy Joe Roses, and he showed me a picture on Instagram. I'm almost tempted to throw it up on my screen, but he would literally put a shotgun to my right side of my mouth. I didn't do it, but he was like all about it, and But I got to get to a Vargas comment before I get to a couple of other things from you, because I got this and I got this I want to show from the one and only Mickey Vargas. And while he says Vargas taking over Texas, you must strongly disagree with that.
Oh, 100%. It ain't happening.
No?
He may be able to. He's wrestling everywhere, and congrats. But as I'm taking over, he ain't got a chance.
So he's just maybe just taking a stop here, and this will just be a fork in the road for him with what he wants. So that's why really he should stick to just maybe being in there with Masada, not with the Big Hoss and your strength. That's what you're telling us, just to make sure.
100%.
Okay, all right. Well, I have no doubt that we'll see. I'm sure Mr. Mickey Vargas will have something to say about that, and he'll give you a receipt, or maybe he won't. Maybe he'll agree with you. Who knows? But if you do want to follow Allied Championship Wrestling also, they're on Instagram. I'm going to put the Big Hoss's Instagram page up here shortly. And also, Texas Strength has nothing on New York Heart.
Why did I win?
The ACW Undisputed Championship, and defeating JTA in his home, as the man of the house.
Why did I win? I mean, I love the comment, but again, at the end of the day, I think strength beats everything.
Oh, you won because you hit him so hard in the head, like I got hit in the dentist. Yeah, I got that. Yeah, I mean, I got it. Listen, I got it. I got the point. I'm a little behind still in my my words, but fairly taken, fairly noted. But there is the Big Hoss on Instagram. You can check him out, and he's got a lot of content on there. And I'm going to put up a couple other things here before we sign off. And there's the link. Yeah, there we go. There's the Big Hoss. Check him out on Instagram. Follow him. You can see some of his stuff and some of the other places you might see him wrestling. And you just wrestled last Friday, and you wrestled here. And yeah, speaking of strong wrestling, and where else can we see you coming up? You wrestled a lot here recently, but where else can we see you other than ACW?
I have a couple more shows with Lano Promotions coming up in September. I have a convention going on for Davey Enterprises going on, and Loco Underground at the end of September. Me, Mickey Vargas, a couple other surprises going to be at that convention. It's going to be pretty cool.
I love that. I love that. But You're right. Texas is just a stepping stone. I'm taking over the whole industry, deathmatch or not. Nobody is safe. He's saying nobody is safe. I mean, what do you think?
I'd love to see him try. I mean, if anyone's gonna try, it's definitely gonna be him. And you never know, but as right now, we'll see.
Well, like I said, he's no longer unwanted. He's definitely wanted, and maybe some of his friends that used to call themselves misfits, maybe they ain't going to be misfits much longer. So I have no doubt about that. We'll talk about the fallout from Yardcade 3 when the time is right. But in the meantime, Mickey Vargas is definitely a guy that we're paying attention to. And yeah, he's been one of my guys that I've been watching for a while. And I talk about a lot on Sportswire. And what a small world. Joey Knight Jr. and Mickey Vargas connect because of Sportswire. You are here because of Mickey Vargas. And I'm sure others from Allied Championship Wrestling will be here next as well. Something tells me that. But is there anything else that you want to talk about or promote here before we get ready for closing words, or anything else that you want to say? Anything else that we should know about? I mean, I know you got merchandise. Go out there and, every wrestler's journey has got to be a part of merch. Got to support those. I have some merchandise of my own that I go buy for where I support our wrestlers. But anything else you'd like to talk about here that we haven't got a chance to mention?
Um, we have our next show, ACW, for Honor in November. That's going to be a show for the veterans, and anything that we make, we're going to give to the vet. We're going to donate to the veterans.
Excellent. So, Veterans Day. Veterans are are very important. I strongly am a supporter of our veterans. I believe in that. I certainly feel that we wouldn't have what we have today if it wasn't for our veterans. And we most certainly want to thank them, especially for those that fought in the armed forces, whether it was out there in Vietnam, Korean War, Gulf War, Iraq, Afghanistan, World Wars. I mean, even those who are still out there abroad. So, yes, I definitely want to second that and send my support. And I would think that we'll talk a lot about that between now and November. I eventually will have my intros the way I want to do them, and I'm sure I'll be able to hold the conversation longer. And I'm sure some of these guys in the chat tonight will probably have a few words about that show here for Honor, because I know you've got for Honor the big horse. You have plenty of honor. You seem like an honorable guy, except for that low blow I saw you did not once but twice to J to the A. But I have no doubt that we'll have plenty of honorable men and maybe even women coming on here from ACW down the road. So I look forward to that.
I do too. Other thing, real quick, if you don't mind me asking, is yes. ACW is for everybody. We say wrestling's for everybody, but that's what we really mean. We give everybody a chance to live out their dream, whether it be commentary, whether it be wrestling, whether it be taking photography, whatever you want to do. Wrestling is for everybody, and we truly believe that.
I agree. Listen, I have said it since December of 2023. My motto on Sportswire Radio is all wrestling matters, which means I support everybody that goes out there and wrestles in some form. If you have wrestled on the ground, you have wrestled on a mat, a trampoline, inside a ring, if you have wrestled in the backyard, if you have wrestled in the underground, if you have wrestled now like you have, Big Hoss and Mickey Vargas and some others here now in the indies, if you have wrestled in the pros, and if you have wrestled even in the WWE, like we have had on Rhino, Savio Vega, and Pitbull, Gary Wolf, and even the promo wrestlers. Joey Knight Jr. was a promo wrestler. I believe in all of that, and I do believe wrestling is for everyone, and I strongly support that motto of ACW, which is why I support Allied Championship Wrestling, and that's why everybody should go out there as well and hit the sub button for me for ACW. If you're also here on Instagram, do me a favor. Go out there and support Allied Championship Wrestling. Please support the Big Horse as well. And also, as a reminder, it is your day here today, sir. So I definitely want to congratulate you on that. I want to thank you for being here. And I look forward to many, many more appearances of you. And who knows, maybe you'll show that Texas strength and go into my Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame next time you're on here. But you definitely can do a few things in the ring. We got a chance to watch some of that tonight. And I want to pass the baton to you. I want to give you some closing thoughts. And anything else you want to plug, share, or say The floor is yours, my friend.
Honestly, I'm just looking forward to the next couple of months. Y'all gonna be surprised what I'm gonna be facing next. I'm gonna be facing some ACW guys, but you never know. There are big names out there that I will be going up against soon. So
Well,
just
I'll
stay
tell you
tuned.
what. If you're going to be facing some big names, I hope you can spend some big time here on Sportswire Radio and and talk about those names because there's a chance that I think I would want to hear about it, and there's a chance I think a lot of other people will want to hear about that as well. That would be something that I'll be watching very closely. I'll be watching that as closely as my medication takes right now for the next week. But no, seriously, it all sounds great. ACW is definitely a company right up our alley, and I've seen what Mickey has done. Mickey betting on himself and winning, but still not winning that ACW Undisputed Championship that you have. But no, all kidding aside, I think ACW has been one of those companies on my radar for a while, probably for about 2 or 3 months, especially with Joey Knight Jr. coming in. Obviously, Vargas, you mentioned D'Angelo the Flame, the real raw energy, a man that is a legend on this platform. And he's one of those guys that has been the, to me, definition of all wrestling matters. And so happy to see you connected with guys that have been staples on my platform. I mean, that's just, to me, that's what the stuff I love. And that's, hopefully I see more of guys that have been on my platform get a chance to meet you, and you can show them that big Texas strength, and they'll find out why you don't mess with Texas. We'll find that out. But my friend, thank you so much. Congratulations on all of your success. I'm looking forward to seeing what's ahead for you in the future. Definitely don't be a stranger. Hopefully don't treat me like the rest of the state that you visited to when you were here. And I'll give you the physical copy of this. We're on the air. And thank you for being here. And I look forward to seeing you soon out there in the ring and here on Sportswire Radio.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You got it. That was here the ACW Undisputed Champion, the one and only, the Big Horse himself. He calls himself the Super Redneck for a reason, and he showed us a little bit of that and also what ACW has to offer. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally where all music and wrestling matters. If you're here on Sportswire Radio, I will be back here tomorrow night around 11 o'clock Eastern time with the guys from BTW, Born to Wrestle. They're getting ready for their August Rush show, and I'm going to rush back onto the platform. Probably not quite the intro you got tonight, but for the Big Horse, I had to do the best I could here, and I think we did the best that we could, and I think the best is yet to come when it comes to the Big Horse. But please support ACW. Please follow him on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Hit the sub button for us, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one global radio station, that is Sportswire Radio, where all music and wrestling matters. See you tomorrow, everybody. Have a great night.